We are live. Hope I get some Yankee fans on here because they suck. Yankees suck. I think we're live here now. The fucking Yankees suck, bro. Let me look at the fucking Yankee thing here. We can hear you. Hold on, I'm going on now. Oh, Christ. Boy, do they suck. I'm not even looking at anybody in here yet. No. I don't know. If nobody comes in, then we go. But I'm looking at something else. So you got to tell me if somebody comes in. I think somebody. All right, hold on. I'm looking.
Real Ted, Brian.
All right, let me turn this shit off. Hold on. I'm looking at this. Oh, okay. What's going on, guys? I can't really see. You got to tell me who's in here. Who said that? Monster Tune. If Kamala wins, you're going to Mexico. You better start making arrangements now, because, I mean, you know I'm the biggest Trump fan there is, bro. But don't trust it. You got to remember something, Master Tune. Let me tell you something. With all the fucking bullshit with Joe Biden, right? With all the shit that people fucking deal with, high prices of gas, high prices of food, savages coming across the border, savages causing crime. You know what I mean? They allow people to burn down cities, but some fucking old lady marches into the, is allowed, come on in, to the fucking, the Capitol building, and they arrest her. With all that shit going on, Joe Biden loses really bad into the, to the debate. Hold on. Loses really bad in the debate, right? He calls his fucking, Trump gets shot. Biden calls his, calls his vice president Trump, then calls Zelensky, Vladimir Putin, all of that. And Trump was still only up by 2 or 3 points. Okay. And some people, right. So now that Kamala's in there, they have her. In some places, she's a little bit ahead, and in some places, she's a little bit behind. So don't believe all the shit. The hatred for Trump is too great out there. I mean, I couldn't bet my house that Trump's going to win. I hope he wins. I pray he wins. But if Kamala wins, we're really fucked. If you think Joe Biden's bad, forget her.
What's up, Greg? Just got a 13-hour shift.
Who said that?
Jude Lucero says, what's up, Greg? Just got a 13-hour shift at UPS.
Brian Pablo, what's going on? Hey, Jude Lucero. Yeah, I know my daughter used to work at UPS. And what's his other guy's name? Real Tev. What's going on? And Brian he's got the Pittsburgh Steelers thing on here. Yeah, I used to like football back in the day, but not anymore. I hate it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what the Pittsburgh.
Master Tune says the Olympics are a disgrace. And
yeah, the Olympics are a disgrace. They already got drag queens with little kids and shit. And let me tell you something. Living in New York, trust me, there's trannies everywhere here. And none of, drag queens, the whole bit. And none of them fucking agree with that stuff. That stuff, those are wackos. Do you understand? Those are like, they're nuts, My daughter's a lesbian. She doesn't walk around with pink hair and blue hair and fucking screaming lesbian shit. She just lives a normal life, She works, fights MMA, all this other bullshit, but she doesn't get involved in any of that kind of shit. That's those are radicals. We know, you living in New York, trannies and shit. They're not like that. That's none of that shit's like that. Those are nut jobs that you see. You know what I'm saying? The Olympics is fucked anyway.
FS19 Gaming says hello. How are you doing?
Who said that? FS19 Gaming. What's going on? What's Brian Pablo asking me? I'm sorry, guys. I can't see without Satan over here.
You're doing a live. It's Saturday here in Australia.
Oh, that's right. It's Brian. Brian, it's for me. It's still Friday night. Oh, thank you, Real Tev. What did he ask? He's asking me or something.
What made you want to get on the steroids?
What made me want to take steroids? Real Tev, I trained for 23 years natural. And to be honest with you, there were, throughout the whole time, just like every natural says, if you guys have any friends natural, or even when you were natural, and maybe you are still natural, when I was natural, I used to always be just like every other natural. God, because I was jacked already natural, and I'd be like, can you imagine if I took steroids? You always pull that bullshit. And then, over years, I, owned gyms and stuff, and I would see these kids come in, and they'd be like little scrawny kids and shit, like, can you show me how to get, I want to start working and get jacked. And before you know it, they're walking around in the gym like this, and they're bigger than me. So one day, I don't know, I was a drug dealer, and I had piles, I had bricks. Dave Palumbo talks about it all the time. Whoever got shit basically got it from me. And, I had bricks of stuff, big bricks of steroids and all kinds of shit. And one day, I don't know, it was just, I'm sitting there and I saw this kid, and 6 months later, 8 months later, he's walking around jacked, and I showed him how to work out, and now he's fucking bigger than me because they were all taking steroids. So I said, you know what? Fuck this. I trained 23 years natural. And a little teeny part of me died when I did that because I was so proud because I was jacked naturally. People thought I was on steroids, and that was like like a compliment to me. So one day I just was like, fuck this. And the first thing I ever took was Dominican D-ball, which is anabolics, because there's some famous bodybuilders, I'm not going to say their names, but I was in with, and we got this big load of Dominican D-ball, and I was just sitting there, and that shit was like, I was staring at it, and I was like, fuck this. I just ripped it and I popped because I didn't want to think about it, because if I thought about it, I probably wouldn't have done it, you know what I mean? But the minute it was in me, I was like, okay, all right, I just took a Dominican D-ball, so I guess I'm not natural anymore, so fuck this shit, and then start breaking out the fucking sustenance and bang, 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 before I knew it, I gained 100 pounds. So that's how it happened. I figured I'm the kind of guy, it's all or nothing with me. Like when I go to the gym, and my girlfriend's right here, she'll tell you, I never miss workouts. I mean, I'd have to be really fucked up, sick, or something really bad in order for me to wish. I one time, when I had the first throat cancer surgery, I actually was in a gym. They botched the first one, so I had to have a second one. But in between that, I had a bad throat bleed. I was in a gym, and I was doing leg press, and all of a sudden, blood. Not vomit, blood just shot out of my mouth, was pouring down. And I was like, what the fuck? So I had to go to the hospital. They looked down my throat, but it stopped on its own. So when I got to the hospital, it was pretty much all right. I came home and I finished. I was in the middle of doing legs. I went back to the gym and finished doing legs. That's not smart. So I'm not saying, somebody else just sent something.
He said, do steroids give you anxiety?
Thank you again, Real Time. No, steroids don't give me anxiety. They do make you feel better, though. I'm not going to lie. Winwar, what's going on, my brother? And Chris, what's that guy's name? I can't see him. She has to help me. I'm sorry. Hey, Chris Hodder, how you doing? Listen, to answer Tev's question, so that's how it started. I put on I went nuts with the steroids. I went, bonsai. And what I was trying to say is about the workout. When I work out, and she'll tell you, I don't miss workouts. It's, no, if I have to crawl in the gym, and I never, ever, ever in my life, in all the years I've been training since 1972, I've never taken it easy. Like, in other words, like if I go to the gym, I either do the workout I go there for, or I don't work out at all. And that's never not at all. So I do the whole workout. If I'm supposed to do, I'm using an example, guys. If I'm supposed to do 100 sets, if I do 99, I can't look myself in the mirror and I start believing in my brain I'm shrinking, I'm nothing, I'm a pussy. So I do the 100 sets, okay? That's what I do. So it's all or nothing with me. So it's the same principle. If I was to rob a bank, I'd be in there. Not only do I want all the money, but give me those pennies too. I want the rolls of pennies. I want everything. Give me the dust in the corner, all of it. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to do that and risk robbing a bank, or I'm going to risk, start taking steroids, I'm going to do it fully. So that's how I did it. I never did growth hormone or any of that shit, but I was a testosterone junkie. Now, Ted, to answer your other question, no, I never got anxiety. Do you have anxiety, Ted? Tell me if you're having problems, and I'll answer that for you, and I'll help you through that. But no, Ruben Sanchez, how you doing, my brother? There's other guys in here. Who else is in here? Ray's 50. How you doing, my brother?
How come steroids have different mental effects?
Wait, you got to read that. There's Irish J. Is that what that says?
Yeah, there's a lot of comments.
And Harry?
Ray's 50 says, how come steroids...
Harry, what's going on, Harry? Okay, wait a minute. So let me finish answering Tev's question. Tev, if you have a problem with that, if you're getting anxiety from steroids, it's not the steroids that give you anxiety. It might be that your mind is, I don't know. You'd have to talk to me and tell me, and then I'll tell you, but I don't get anxiety at all from taking steroids. I'm not on steroids now. I do take. I just started my TRT from from my surgery.
Nut.
Blah 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 blah.
Harry Nut.
Yes, Harry Nutt. That's my boy.
There's a good question here.
All right, wait a minute. Will you give me a second? Holy shit. Jesus, the peanut gallery. Give me a second. I'm trying to answer the guy's question. I don't get any anxiety. I just do right now. I'm only, because I'm older now. I remember I'm 64 years old and I don't want to be big anymore. So I gotta, I'm afraid of the heart. That's why Dave, me and Jimmy the Bull just got off the phone. Me and Jimmy Pelletier. Wait a minute. Will you hold on? Okay, relax. What a pain in the ass. So me and Jimmy Pelletier, we just, got off the phone. We were just talking about Dave because, Dave gained like 30 pounds because he's he's doing the babanya. And, the guy had heart problems and everything. We love the guy, but I think he's crazy because he's always the one preaching, you don't want to get too jacked. We're getting older now and everything. And meanwhile, he put on 30 pounds. I could do the same thing. I'm a hyper responder with steroids. I'm a hyper responder. The minute I start touching steroids, boom, I grow. Right now I take TRT. It doesn't, that's not, that's shit for me because I have the testosterone of a girl. So, of a little girl. So that just replaces and I do it once every 10 days. Okay. And I do it with a doctor, a female doctor, by the way, if it matters. And, I just got back on it because of the operation. I couldn't do it while I was going through all that shit because you can't have surgery and be on that shit's bad. So anyway, so I don't have any thing. What's the question you want to ask me?
Harry Dune, do you think small frame guys can get big? For example, how much bigger could Bruce Lee have gotten?
Can small frame guys get big? Of course they could get big. Yes, but you got to learn. Too many of you guys follow these idiots on the internet. First of all, the Sarms and the fucking train like this and train like that and eat this and eat that. A lot of that shit's bullshit, okay? Just like in my last video that I just did, I talk about guys squatting, all right? Too many guys go in there or they leg press and they put like 10, 12 plates on each side and they're fucking pushing it up and they're going like this and like that, and you see videos of it. They're not going all the way down or all the way up. And if I made you do that, I'll put 2 or 3 plates on each side. I do 3 plates. I do 80, 85 reps on each side, right? But all the way up, all the way down, no rest. When I go down and then I go up, I keep this pace like this. I never stop at the top and do this. And then do a rep. That's rest pause. That's not the same thing. I don't do that. When I do it's this steady 80, 85 reps. Now you try to do that with 3 plates, all the way up, all the way down. Bet you can't do it. All right. The point I'm trying to make is most guys don't train right. You walk on your legs. You think 6 reps, 8 reps is going to do shit. You have to walk because you have heavy weight. It's bullshit. Bullshit. Do you know how much time? Do you know what Tom Platz used to do? Do you know that Tom Platz? I don't know if you guys know this. I know Tom Platz. Tom Platz used to do like 50 reps. He would take 315 and squat 50 reps clean. Okay, when he did like 600 pounds, he would do that for reps, not no 4 or 5 reps. He would go all the way up and all the way down. He could take like 600 and do it like 20, 25 times. So he's not, you guys don't understand that. You walk on your legs. You think 6 reps is going to get the deep fibers of the legs? No. So to answer your question, Harry Dune, by the way, Harry Dune, meet Harry Nutt. He's in here. Yes, it doesn't matter if you frame. So I have a fucking small frame. You gotta see my son. My son is like fucking like myostatin freak. He's like fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? His shoulders, I have broad shoulders. His shoulders are twice as wide as mine. He's got hands like fucking baseball mitts. His calves are the same size as Lee Priest. He's big. And he's not even really lifting weights. You know what I mean? He used to, and when he was in the army, he used to do deadlifting and bullshit. They're totally different than me. But what I'm trying to say is, small joints, Flex Wheeler, all those guys, they weren't huge. They was, you don't have to have this giant frame. You just got to learn how to train right and listen to your body. Stop listening to these guys. Just had Wendy, so I keep burping up. You got to stop listening to these other fucking guys in the gym. Just because some guys got big arms or big legs or big chest doesn't mean that means he knows what's right for him. That those exercises and his style of training works for him. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You know what I mean? He has totally different distribution of muscle fibers, different tines. He's a totally different guy than you. You have to find what's right for you. You know, I don't need to squat. Look at my fucking legs, man. I keep putting videos of them. You know, you got to see my fucking legs. My legs are jacked. Look, Dave was like, "Holy shit, they're bigger than Lee's." When we were posing, remember the video? Me and Lee were standing posing like didn't. You know, the problem is that I fucking have my own way of training, but I know what's right for me. That doesn't mean what I do is right for you. But I do believe that reps have to be put in the leg because the leg is predominantly, you know, red fiber. You walk on your legs. If your legs exhausted easy, which is fast, you know, white fiber, you wouldn't be able to walk 20 feet. You'd have to sit down because your legs would not be able to take it anymore. So, but whatever. All right. So give me more questions.
This person was saying, how come steroids have different mental effects in people? Riggy's 50.
Who said that?
Riggy's 50.
Riggy's 50. That's how she said it.
How come steroids have different mental effects?
How come steroids have different mental effects on people? Guys, I've said this a gazillion times. It's like alcohol. One guy gets drunk. I have a friend that gets drunk. He gets real quiet. Just sits there like this. You talk to him. You all right, dude? Yeah. You just get real quiet. I have another friend that cries. My mother doesn't love me. My wife doesn't love me. And, you know, he cries. He gets sad. He's a sad drunk. Then I got a friend that's a happy drunk. Laughing at everything. You know, like that. Then I get the friend that's the angry drunk. I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill your mother. I'll kill everybody. Then I get the other friend that's asleep. Yo, you awake? So, what does alcohol do to a person? Each person's different. If you're an asshole and you take steroids, you're a bigger asshole, right? If steroids really gave, you know, of course you're going to get a little aggression. Also, it's mind. It's in the mind. You jacked. You feel like, you know, look at me. You know, I'm jacked. I can walk through a wall. It doesn't mean anything. Some fucking skinny concave dude like fucking Nate Diaz will fucking kick your fucking ass. There's not a bodybuilder alive that's going to take him. You know what I mean? He's got a concave chest and like 14-inch arms. That one thing has nothing to do with the other. The muscle, the head, it's all in each person's head. It's your own personal chemistry. So one guy might take steroids and he might be real super aggressive. Okay? Wait, Lucia.
Greg, hold on, but before I read that, I said Tommy Bath. It says, "What's up, Greg? Watching from Australia. Love your work."
Tommy who?
Tommy Bath.
Tommy Bath.
BATH.
Tommy Bath, how you doing, my brother from Australia?
And then Real Test says, "I don't want to be a dick and hog all your time, but what did Trent make you feel like?"
No, you're not a dick and hogging my time, and I appreciate you. You know, which got all here. What do you ask me? I don't want to be the guy.
What did Trent make you feel like?
Okay, that's another thing. Okay, Trend kind of fucks with your head because I don't know what the hell the chemistry is with Trend. I really don't know. When I was younger, there was Parabone. Trend is a knockoff of Parabone. Technically, there's really no such thing as a drug trend. You can't go in a drugstore anywhere in this world unless they sell bootleg drugs, you know, which some countries might, you know. But you can't go in a drugstore and say, "Yes, I'd like some Trenbolone acetate, please," you know. It's usually a homebrew drug. And when I took it, first of all, I couldn't handle it. My friend and I took it out of the same bottle, okay? And my friend and I, you know, we did a different needle, different fucking thing, but he would draw it out and he'd hand me the bottle, I draw it out, right? And when I did the trend, 50 milligrams, I caught that meatball in your throat where you can't breathe. You know, the trend cough and you can't breathe. Elite Priest, same thing. Me, you know, it's one of the few things we've talked about when it comes to steroids. We both were laughing because we can't take the, you know, I get that meatball, I can't breathe, okay? They call it the 911 drug. You call 911, yeah, I can't breathe. You call him back 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm okay. But my friend, he'd take 250 milligrams out of it, nothing. So I guess it's different from each person. You know, I've asked Dave about that. So Dave, what do you think it is? You know, and he'd be like, "Oh, it could be the you know, the ester that it's floating in, the alcohol, that whatever they use to you know, to use to make the chemistry, all this other bullshit."
He says that people immediately start coughing.
Yeah, I don't listen. You know, I don't think that cough is a good thing. Okay, so I don't give a shit how jacked you get. If you get the wrong bottle or you get like an allergic reaction to it, you can kill yourself. You know, so for me, that trend cough sealed the deal with me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not taking this. You know what I mean? And I diluted it with equipoise, and I still did not like it. So it still got to me. So it wasn't like, you know, I don't like that. Now you're talking 20 years ago for me. You know, I mean, it's been a long time, but still, Trend is trend. I still hear the, the guys and you do get lucid dreams. Why? I don't know. I'm not sure what the fuck that shit does. I don't know how they make it. It could all be in the brew. That's what Dave Palumbo says. It's in the brew. It's in the mixture. You know what I mean? So I don't really know why. But if you have experience with that shit and you have like the trend cough or any of that shit, then don't do it. Do you understand? I would recommend you not doing it then. Don't fuck with shit that just because everybody else and you're watching all these other guys get jacked, they also lose it pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ever see some of these big jack pros and what they look like later on? You would never even know some of them lifted weights.
Ruben Sanchez said, when I take Tren or Parabolin,
I
take it before bed to avoid the initial bad feeling.
Well, Ruben, I don't know. If I took that shit before bed, I can't sleep as it is. I'm hyper. So as I start pinning myself before I go to bed, it affects me. But if you can fall asleep after taking a shot at Tren, I'd be afraid I'd be choking in my sleep. Again, even Lee and Lee had the same fucking problem. We talked about it. CH, yeah, go ahead.
He's like, Greg, would you go on Larry and Armin's spin-off show? It gets kind of boring there since all they talk about is bodybuilding.
Larry and Armin. Well, they never asked me. I don't know. I think he's asking if I would go on Larry and Armand's show. They've never asked me, and I don't know. They're more. Listen, guys. I was in this sport. When the sport was a lot different. Okay, today they're giving out pro cards. All these people that are pros wouldn't have been pros years ago. Okay, and all these different. There was just bodybuilding years ago. You know what I mean? Now you got all this other bullshit. So, I mean, I don't like the sport the way it is anymore. I'm more of an old school guy. And those guys are really into like, oh my God, you see this new guy, Joe Matarazzi? He's like fucking ripped and shredded, What's he, like they're into that. I can't, like, I don't have an interest in that. I'm like sitting there, like Dave puts up these things, on RX and like, some new bodybuilder from wherever, and they show some guy, just, and I'm looking at 2 years ago, he was just some nobody, skinny and shit. And now it's 2 years, he put on 100 pounds, and he's ripped and shredded and ready for the wood, Mr. Olympia, whatever. It doesn't do it for me, so I don't really have any. So those guys might not want me on their show. They're more into the, bodybuilding purists, like that. So I'm not really, I love the old school bodybuilding, the way it is today. They take a chemical and a gazillion. It's not, I'm from the old fucking, let's take some debol test, like that kind of shit. Today with all this shit from Sarms to peptides, there's every little process of the body, they take a chemical for. That's why you really think, has the human being evolved? I mean, Sean Ray, Lee Priest, all those guys are on the shorter side, like myself. They competed under 200 pounds. They were like 198. Lee Labrada was like 191. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Now those guys at that height, these guys like 230, 240. Did the human being evolve since maybe 2000 or the 90s? No. You know what I mean? I mean, Dorian Yates would be like fucking small today. These guys are half his height and they're fucking, they outweigh him. They're all like, whoa, man, especially these guys from the Middle East, God knows what the fuck they're taking. So it's just, I don't know. And 3 years ago, they were just an average guy. And now all of a sudden, boom,
Every night road, Greg, do you remember Super Droll over the counter in the early 2000s?
I do remember Super Droll, but you see, like, the problem is that all those SARMs things are not, remember, they're oral. So I don't give a fuck out. I don't have the side effects. None of these pro bodybuilders that are going for the Olympia are like, yeah, dude, I don't take steroids. I'm taking just SARMs. None of them. All right. So that tells you something right there. And Dave Palumbo, who's a chemical fucking jargonaut, knows more than anybody I know about that shit. Okay. Whether you like Dave or not, I love Dave. He's my boy. I'm telling you, he says SARMs are bullshit. They're not, then a lot of them have been spiked with methyl tests too. They used to do that all the time. When I was younger, they had orchic glands, which are balls, like bulb balls in a capsule and shit. And they used to spike that with methyl tests. So if somebody took it, they were like growing and stuff, and hot stuff when it first came out. Some of you older bodybuilders might remember that in the 80s, hot stuff. We all had methyl tests in it. So I'm not so sure what some of these SARMs are, but SARMs have to go through the liver. So don't believe, oh no, they're not toxic. They're better than steroids. No way. No
That
way.
person's Harry Knott says, I used to make gear from powder. Personal use only. Test that got equipoise.
Yeah, Harry Knott. But I couldn't. I mean, I wouldn't trust myself making gear. You know what I mean? Like the shit. The Babanya. I always got it back in the day. I was getting like, legit pharmacy shit and stuff from Europe even was like, good back then. Now today, who knows what the hell you're getting. There's no such thing as Test 400 and all that shit. All that shit's, when you see that shit, that's bootleg shit. And I could never do that.
Yeah, Harry Knott said injecting is always better than oral.
Yes, injections are way better than oral. I see a lot of shit
Brian
here. See,
Brian Pablo, what year are you talking
go
about?
ahead.
Brian Pablo says Dorian Riggs shut down his own production. Not against gear. I believe it has its A's, and if I need it damn well, sure I'll jump on it.
Wait, so what are you saying? So Dorian Yates, all right, Brian Pablo is saying that Dorian Yates shut down his own production. Not against gear. I believe it has its place, and if needed. Yeah, I mean, if you shut down your own production, of testosterone, you got to take it. That's why I have to take it. I mean, I took so much shit. It wasn't funny. And I mean, I took a lot of stuff. I was only on it till I got arrested, like 5-6 years, and then boom. But I gained 100 pounds like in a year, and I couldn't breathe. I loved I'm not gonna lie, I loved every minute of it, but I was like doing stupid amounts, like a whole bottle Monday, a whole bottle Wednesday, a whole bottle Friday, and throw in like sustenance and other shit. God knows how many milligrams to test. Just the bottles alone was 6,000 milligrams, 3 bottles of 200 milligram testosterone. So that's just that. I was also throwing in sustenance. I was also throwing in a jug of Ganabol, which is equipoise. What else would I take? I took a lot of shit, bro. John Scuderi, what are you doing, my brother?
He wrote, "You're not a real man unless you shut down your own test."
That's right, John. If you haven't shut down your own test, you're not a real man. It's true though. We all. I mean, if you take steroids, you're gonna. That's why I'm against the kids taking them, like these teenagers. I get attacked for that shit sometimes. Oh, Valentino, what are you talking about? But you gotta understand something. You can't. If you're 18 years old, bro, and you're taking steroids, you're stupid. Because not for nothing, when I was 18 years old, I couldn't wait for my parents to leave the house so I can fucking crack one out. You know what I mean? Your own testosterone. You've only had hair on your dick, what, 3, 4, 5 years, 5 years, maybe 6 years. When you have hair on you put your hair on your little pichuli god down there, So it's not like you need testosterone at 18 years old, That's why you see these kids like the Trenbolone and all these other guys. They fucking look like they're 30-something, already male pattern, but wait till they have to go off. Wait, once they get kidney problems and all this other shit because they're too young and you do that shit. And that's why guys are getting sick today. Isn't it funny how they're all either kidney, heart, liver, it's always the same shit.
Greg, this person's asking this question again.
Go ahead.
Greg, do you think kettlebell training is overrated?
Gregory Mara wants to know, do I think kettlebell training is overrated? I mean, I don't know any bodybuilder that just sits there with kettlebells. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I can't, for me, it's a waste of time. If you're looking at like, I'm just trying to get in shape, trying to, so I can like jog every day. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't like kettlebell training. I mean, it's not a waste of time. I mean, that's like saying, can I, Greg, can you do push-ups and like calisthenics, running in place and shit like that. And, jumping jacks and, I mean, it's better than nothing. But I mean, if you're saying, I've never known a guy like, yeah, dude, I got fucking jacked. I mean, look at the size of me. All I do is kettlebell training. I laugh at those guys that stand in the gym at this and at their fucking, samurai swinging fucking weights. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that's going to do besides kill my lower back. If that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's no such thing as bad exercise, but we're talking bodybuilding here, right? So if you're asking me, is kettlebell training a waste of time for bodybuilders? Yes. What are we back in, like, wait a minute, hold on. What are we back in Sandow's day where you're standing there? That's because they didn't have dumbbells. That's the only weights they had, Now some fucking guy, it's just a new thing now. When I was younger, you didn't see kettlebells in the gym. You saw dumbbells. You know, so I'm not really crazy about that
hey,
stuff.
Greg, why do you yell at your girlfriend for not reading the comments and then
Who said that?
And then you get mad when she interrupts you? It's like there's no winning with you, bro.
Who said
Just
that?
kidding, you're cool.
Who said
funny mashups and more?
Funny mashups and more. Well, my girlfriend and me, we get along extremely well. We've been together going on 18 years, so you know. Shut up. I'm kidding.
Somebody wrote, "No way you're alive." Who was it?
No way I'm alive.
Chaldean, because you're alive on YouTube at this time.
Oh.
So they wrote, "No way, Greg is live." That's crazy.
That's because I'm up all night anyway.
Now he wrote, "Yo,
wait.
Where's the same guy wrote Chaldean? Yo, where's the rear delve video you promised many years ago?"
Well, it's coming when you get. You know what?
Wait,
hold on. The Real Tev asked me a question, and he wants to know. What is he asking me? Prime Victor Richards versus Prime versus Phil Heath. Oh, I mean, Phil Heath's genetic structure is better than Victor Richards. Mass-wise, there's no comparison. Victor Richards, 1,000%. You see all these guys today that are super jacked from the Middle East. They still don't match Victor Richards. In 1981, 82, when I knew him, you know what I mean? He was a fucking monster back then. You know? I mean, his legs were, if you cut a 45, if you took his fucking thigh and cut it this way, it would be as round as a 45-pound plate. He was fucking huge. And it wasn't just big, he was a genetic freak. You know, and he had super strength. He could, you know, I told you, I spotted him. I don't remember the dumbbells were 260 pounds. He was doing flies. I had to lift. I couldn't even lift one up. You know what I mean? I had to lift like this, and he would be doing reps with him. Bang, bang. I mean, you know, he's a genetic freak. And he was a monster back then, which was unheard of. You know what I mean? It was unheard of. You guys think Arnold was big? Arnold competed like at 224, 226. You know, I think he ballooned up and then cut down. You know, I think it might have been like 240, 250 at the most. And then cut it down. And when he was contest weight, he wasn't that much. He was like 12 pounds off of the 212 class. You know what I mean? You think the human beings evolved? Shit. No. It's just the drugs are out of control now. So, no, Victor Richards was way bigger. Phil Heath, structure-wise, Phil Heath had smaller joints. You know, his physique was, prettier. But Victor Richards was a monster. Plus, Victor Richards didn't know how to pose. He posed like, you know who was like that too? Paul Dillette. Paul Dillette had an amazing body. He was huge, super huge. If he knew how to pose, forget about it.
Do you think teenage newbie muscle is more permanent than muscle you build when older?
There's teenage newbie muscle. Who is that?
Funny mashups and more.
Funny mashups or fan? Whatever. You're saying fanny. It's funny.
Funny.
Yeah. Do I think that? Well, I mean, it depends. It's a teenage muscle's natural. You know what I mean? And you build a foundation naturally. I mean, look at me. I fucking sitting in a fucking hospital, she'll tell you, for 2 weeks, no food, fucking dying in there. And I come out and I'm still, I was still pretty big, built. Wasn't huge or anything, but it's still built because I had a natural base. I trained 23 years natural. If you build a natural base, yeah. But if you're all drugs, it doesn't matter. And when you're older, if you build muscle, yeah, it stays with you. As long as as long as it's not just juice muscle. If you're standing there blasting a testosterone, again, I used to be way bigger than I am now. It was juice.
AJ88 says, "Can you wish my girl Sarah a happy 32nd birthday?"
AJ88, what's going on, AJ? How you doing, my brother?
Me and Kelsey love her to the moon and back.
Okay.
If Kelsey's a scorer or what?
Okay, wait a minute now. Sarah. Okay. Hey, Sarah, happy birthday. AJ told me it's your birthday, and Kelsey and him love you to death. So I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Okay? God bless you. And make sure AJ spends some Scott-Hole on you. Make sure he gets you a nice birthday present. All right. How's that, my brother?
John Skibberry says, if you run longer cycles, you keep more, in my opinion.
John Skidiri is saying if you run longer cycles, you keep more. I mean, it depends on basically, I mean, you do keep some, yeah. I mean, it's, if you were on steroids for years, you're going to keep some. You know what I mean? I think that if you have a natural base, you know what I mean, a natural foundation, you can definitely, guys who've trained were natural bodybuilders. Dude, when I was a natural bodybuilder, I told you guys a million times, Kai Green was fucking I mean, I thought like my shit didn't stink. I was cocky about it because I used to beat guys on steroids all the time. And then I'm at Johnny Latch's gym and Kai Green comes out and I'm like, holy fucking, it, it, I had like white boy muscle, but he had that deep fucking dense fucking, he was dense. Like he had a density that, I don't know, was almost like drug density. You know what I mean? I wasn't dense like he was really dense. And, but the minute he took drugs, he became like, he went from that to, he was winning natural shows, And, dude, the minute he took drugs, he just got like unbelievable. And if he went off drugs right now, he still looks fucking unbelievable because he built a natural physique, So I just think, if you build a foundation, you understand what I'm saying? And you have a, like, it's like the little piggies, the house is fucking made of straw. It's going to get blown down. But if you build your house with bricks, in other words, if there's a natural foundation there, you will always have some muscle on you. Plus, you got to train smarter. As you get older, you train smarter. You don't try to get bigger. You know what I mean? I could get big really quick. The problem is, though, I'd have to take the fucking shit, and I got to worry about the heart, the ticker. I don't want to be the next guy in the, like, oh, shit, you hear about Valentino? I don't want, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to do that anymore, But these guys today, if you don't give a shit and you just blast the shit out of yourself, not good. It's,
I should have left for the gym already. I'm delaying for Greg. Back night.
Well, Harry Nutt, you better hammer that back when you get to the gym, buddy. You got to do that back. What else are guys asking me here?
What's it? Funny mashups.
Funny, not Fanny.
Greg, we're gonna play Fuck, Marry, Kill. Dave Palumbo, Big Lenny, Sarah Piana. What you got?
I have funny mashups. I don't know how to do that stuff, like that whole that fuck, marry, kill stuff. I've heard of it, but I don't understand that. Like what that means.
You gotta fuck somebody, marry somebody, and kill somebody.
I'm gonna fuck Dave. I'm gonna marry him, and then I'm gonna kill him for the money. No, I don't know. I don't know, understand all that shit.
What strongman do you think could be a legit bodybuilder?
What strongman could be a legit bodybuilder? Oh, I don't know. I really don't follow that stuff too much. I mean, Mariusz Pudzianowski looked fucking damn good when he was a strongman. Most of those guys, they're big mooses, but they're not like, Mariusz Pudzianowski had a pretty goddamn good physique. Even when he dieted down, he looked pretty good. But I'm not really good with all the new guys. I don't really follow all that stuff. I'm not too good with it, I've met a lot of those guys. I met what do you call him? The mountain guy and Brian Shaw. I got pictures of me with Rodney Roller. Me and Rodney Roller. We were standing on a chair. He was on one side, I was on. And, Brian Shaw was still taller than us. He's a fucking moose. You know what I mean? He's a big guy, Brian Shaw. I don't follow that stuff too much. I'm not really good with that. I know that Mariusz Pudzianowski looked really good. Bill Kazmaier looked good when he was dieted down, but when he was hulky, he looked chunky. Go ahead, next.
Brian Shaw, a legend.
Yes, he is. Root beer. Dire root beer, in case you wonder. Go ahead. What else? Let's see.
Funny mashup said I was surprised to see how Zapata in full figure. He was chunky face, but he's pretty lean.
Yeah, Joe's got a good body on him. He's built. Joe's built. Joe Zapata.
What's the difference between starving and fasting?
What's the difference between starving and fasting? Well, fasting is controlled. You drink water. I don't look. Fasting has its purposes.
From Wheel Man Stand.
Wheel Man Stand. Fasting is good, but it's intermittent fasting. If it's not fasting for 2 or 3 days, you're just going to tap into muscle and all that shit. And, and then you can't just start eating like a pig again, or there's people who've died from that, believe it or not. You can't just if you took a guy off starving is when if you start going for more than a day, to me, that's starving. I'm sorry. It's not good, unless you're sick. Then it's natural. Even animals fast. Animals don't eat when they're sick. But if you're not sick, I wouldn't be doing that. Just eat smart. If nobody, if you eat good foods, you're not gonna have that trouble.
Way Up Dude says, Greg, we love you in Woodstock, Georgia.
What? Who said that?
Way Up Dude says,
Way Up Dude. Thank you, my brother.
We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. In Woodstock, Georgia. Thank you. Greg, you have ever met Trump I've never met Trump. My sister knew Trump very well. Her husband used to work for Trump. Was one of his security people. He was more. He worked for Eric Trump and Donald. You know, he worked on a property on his house. You know, like he do security, and you know, private. You know, the private security, not no security guard shit. But I'm saying he was. You know, and then you know, he lived on the Trump golf course here in New York, and Donald would be there all the time. So my sister used to meet. I get pictures of my sister with Donald Trump, and my sister met them all. The kids, the friggin' all of the Donald Trump's sons. Obviously Eric, because Eric lives there. And my sister loved Ivanka. You know, she also she liked Melania, but she liked Ivanka a lot.
I've heard. AJ88 says, I've heard that fasting too long, and then someone ate some starchy potatoes and they died.
AJ88 said about fasting too long, somebody ate potatoes and they died. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. If you stuffed yourself with them, you don't understand what happens when you do that shit. Your stomach, you could actually explode your stomach. It's really crazy. Google that shit. You cannot fast for any length of time. Fasting is one thing. Starving is another thing. If you go like over a day, to me, that's starving. That's no good. Unless you're sick. That's a different story. But, you know, if you're trying to lose weight and shit like that, just eat good food. Stoke your metabolism. You also have to understand that after a while, fasting is negative and it slows your metabolism down. You understand? So, you know, it's not just calories in, calories out. You have to understand something. You know, you don't count your calories. I don't believe in that shit because every day it's the quality of calorie, okay? And every day is something different. If I had X amount of calories, let's say if I said I was going to have 2,000 calories today because I'm on a diet or some shit, and today I laid around and watched TV all day and I didn't really burn any calories, that's one thing, right? And tomorrow I'm going to have 2,000 calories again, but tomorrow I got to cut the grass. I got to do a bunch of shit. I just burn more calories. I don't go by that. It's just like instinctive training. There's instinctive dieting. You got to go. I go meal by meal and I go by how I feel. If I feel bloated, I'm going to cut back. You know what I mean? On food and you know, calories and the quality of calorie, meaning comes more from proteins and you know, and good fats.
AJ88 says, Greg, do you still have that old school calorie counter?
You know what? I have them here. Yeah, I do. AJ88 once in a while. Yeah, you know, they're in the background.
Look, this guy says over here, Greg, Deacon Mendez says, any easy meals to gain weight? I'm 5'11" and I weigh 122. I was 136 in May and I got no idea why I lost weight.
Who said that? Deacon Mendez wants to know if he's 5'11", 122. Holy shit. You know what's funny? All right, Deacon Mendez is asking me how to, you know, what meals to gain weight and everything like that because he's 5'11", 122, and he was up to 136, which is still too light for a 5'11". Listen, most of the time when guys ask me that question, I can't seem to put on weight. You know what the first thing I ask them? What'd you eat for breakfast? I didn't have breakfast, or I had a roll, and I'm like, oh god, okay, here we go. Yeah. You gotta have food. There's no secret meal. You know what I mean? Just like there's no secret drug. You know, there's no secret training routine. There's no secret. There's no secret. First of all, you got to find out what's right for you and how your body reacts. Obviously, you must have a naturally fast metabolism, so you need to eat hearty meals. You know what I mean? It can't just sit there and say, "Well, I had 2 eggs on a bagel or whatever for breakfast." That's, you know, some people that'll make them fat. But if you've got a fast metabolism, that ain't gonna do shit. You better fucking eat 3 or 4 of those. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you gotta eat. Big men eat big. You know, that's the fact. You know, we eat good, but we eat big. I'm not gonna go eat junk. That's not gonna help you gain muscle. You can be skinny fat too. You can be 5'11", 122, but be mushy. You know what I mean? Like mushy fat. You ever see a skinny woman and she still got cellulite and shit on her? You know what I'm saying? That's like skinny fat. So you want quality weight. Quality weight. Don't go buying weight gainers. I've never met a pro bodybuilder that's ever taken a weight gainer. That's amateur shit. That's bullshit. That's all fake. They just throw fucking, you know, sugars and starches in a fucking protein powder and they call it weight gainer. Don't go do that shit. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? just try eating hearty meals. What'd you eat for breakfast? Then what'd you eat for lunch? I kind of skipped lunch. I had to work. There you go. You know what I mean? If you have a fast metabolism, you have to eat every 2.5, 3 hours like that. And they have to be hearty amounts of food, you know, and good food. If you eat like that, you'll gain weight. You're a human being. So there's no, you know, don't tell me, no, I eat a lot. Because I can guarantee if I made you give me your food meals, I can say that's not a lot.
AJ88 says it's funny how many guys say they don't eat breakfast. Most of them smoke weed.
Well, I know smoking weed usually makes people hungry, I think. But I don't know. I never smoke weed.
Vanessa A says, how many percent on the pro stage do Synthol?
I don't know. Vanessa A wants to know how many people on the pro stage do Synthol. I think now it's more of a tool. I see shit on guys. I don't know. Everybody associates me with that shit, and I took fucking oil-based steroids and fucking, you know, I was taking so much shit that I stuck that there. You know what I mean? It's not Synthol. I did this shit. Everybody sees those pictures of me. First of all, you see that fucking retarded arm. Okay? And that was a hematoma. So when I go up there and I pose and it looks like a giant balloon. Okay? And you see even a little blood trickling down. It's all from that TLC show. When I put out that video, I let them put it out. But I have the fucking video of me draining that arm of blood. There's no fucking oil. It's on the internet. There's no oil. There's no pus. It wasn't an infection. It was a hematoma, like a fucking giant black eye or something like that. And that had nothing to do with taking steroids. That had nothing to do with injecting, you know, steroids into my arms or any of that shit. That had to do with a hematoma. She knows the story. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to argue with the people who want to believe otherwise. I'm tired of arguing about it. But I do know that most guys today, I think they use a little bit of Synthol as a tool, like if maybe in their calves and arms or shoulders or something, wherever like a body part's lagging. But if you do too much of that shit, it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying?
Will Manstan says, I ate sugary cereal for breakfast all my life as a kid. I can't believe they call it a balanced breakfast.
Yeah, well, sugary cereal. Who said that?
Will Manstan.
What's his name?
Will Manstan.
See, you get everybody's name wrong. Will Manstan. I see it here now. Okay, he said he ate sugary cereal and they call it a balanced breakfast. It's not. It's good. You know, they deceive you with all that shit. You know, I tell my girlfriend, she sits there and she eats like, what's that shit you like that I can't stand? It stinks. What are those chip things?
Cheetos?
Yeah, Cheetos. And what's the other one? Doritos. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've never eaten that shit in my life. That shit stinks. I know my daughter likes it, but I don't give that. She likes it. She also smokes more pot than Snoop Dogg. So that doesn't mean that I gotta like it. You know? That shit stinks. You open up a bag of that shit. That's not even food. You know what I mean? But you can read on it. Everyone has like vitamin A and anything, something's fortified and all that bullshit. That's all gagat.
Now this person is talking shit because listen, Greg, it says, why when your arms were the biggest, they lost a lot of natural shape and definition. Did you lose mobility too?
Who asked me that now?
Reyes50.
Reyes50 wants to know why, when I was at my biggest, did my arms lose shape and definition? Now I had definition in them. I had veins all over the place. You're looking at the bad arm, and yes, it did. When I shot. Listen, if you shoot your fucking self with too much shit, which I did shoot myself with too much shit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I did shoot but you see the balloon. It was just one arm. It wasn't both arms. It was one arm that was a balloon. And I get it. I get why people think, oh, that's simple. I don't give whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't give two shits with anybody because that's what they want to think. Good, think it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to think. You know, but I'm telling you, it was, I shot the babanya and it's an oil-based drug, but still, it's you start doing that and it's not good. Plus, whenever you shoot something, it swells, and when something swells, it gets water retention. But I had veins. I could show you a gazillion videos of me super jacked with veins. You know what I'm saying? I had small waist too. She knows. What? No, don't start showing them pictures. She's like, I'll prove it right now. She's undoing her lap. What do you call that? iPad. She wanted to show you iPad. She was going to put up no, I don't want to. No, but I don't even want to go into that stuff. These guys, if they don't believe me, I don't give a shit. I'm tired of arguing.
That same person wrote, yo, that video is still scary.
Which video is still
I
scary?
guess he's talking
The one of
about
me
the
draining of
TLC, yeah,
the
probably.
TLC thing. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. I get why people think that. I mean, their arm looked ridiculous. It was a giant balloon, but it was filled with blood. I drained it. That's the whole thing. I sit there and I swirl it around. I had a jar, like, you know, it was a big mayonnaise jar, you know. First, it was a glass cup, and then I poured that in. It's in a jar. It was like, it was blood. There was no oil. There was no pus. It's hematomas, dead blood. It's like,
Vanessa A says, I wish it was as easy to get muscular as it is to get fat.
Vanessa A said she wishes it was easy to get muscular as it is to get fat. You know, it all depends on your approach and what you guys have to understand. Listen to me. You cannot go by what one guy does and he's ripped and shredded, and you say, well, he's ripped and shredded or she's ripped and shredded and she does this and eats this and this and this. So if I do it and I don't understand, I'm not making it because her metabolism or his metabolism is different than yours. And certain foods, I've said this a gazillion times. I've had dinner with Ronnie Coleman 100 times. Okay, we used to go to Carl Filippone's restaurant. Me and him, we'd eat there. You know, because I was friends with his girlfriend Alti Batista. We'd all sit there and we'd have dinner together a million times. And he would sit there. I would see him eat like, you know, pasta, and I'd see him eat freaking rice with the, you know, like right after eating pasta, and you know, he had no problems. I was with Lee Haney. Lee Haney stayed at my house for 3 days. Lee Haney used to say, I can't eat no potatoes. Potatoes bloat my lower intestines. I got to eat rice. Dinner with Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler used to talk about it all the time. I can't have, oh my God, if I eat oatmeal, it wrecks my stomach. It irritates my intestines and he gets bloated. So he has cream of rice when he wants carbs. Everybody's different. So who do you listen to? Do you listen to Ronnie? Well, Ronnie, look at Ronnie. He's eating pasta and rice and he won the Mr. Olympia how many times? That's him. His metabolism's fast. Okay, his structure, he can handle it. His digestive system is different than yours. You gotta find what's right for you. Just like training. Just because somebody gets a big chest. I have a friend who used to bench press, never did incline press or anything, and he had the fucking up from here down. He had the most incredible chest. Just benching. That's all he did. Okay. Other guys, I want a bench show. I want a bench press show. Okay. But bench press just made my delts bigger and my fucking triceps stronger. I have to do more, you know, like cables and shit like that. So one man's junk is another man's gym. Look at my legs. They're fucking, you know, my legs are jacked right now. And I haven't squatted since I was 20. I'm freaking, what am I, 64? You know what I'm saying? I haven't squatted 46 years. I haven't squatted. You know what I mean?
AJ88 sends you $5.
Geez, AJ88, yes.
Greg, can you get your chicken parmesan recipe out on YouTube?
My chicken listen, I'm not one of those guys. I like to cook.
Are you gonna share your secret recipe?
Yeah, Lucia's like, everybody loves my fucking food, and I could cook some Italian food.
The
thing is, my niece is right. Yes, you're right. See, my girlfriend's saying. The thing is, everybody's different, right? Like, for instance, like, you have to have shit in your hands. I always say, like, you know, I'm not, like, my girlfriend could come up here and she could fucking change that light fixture. I can't. I'm fucking no good at that. My girlfriend could actually paint. Like, you know, she'll sit there and paint the house and stuff. I can't do it. I have no fucking, like, patience. I have very little patience. I can't sit. It's got to get done. I would actually take the whole fucking paint can, throw it off the wall, just try to roll it real fast like that. Because I don't have patience to sit there and roll and then cut in and all that. I don't have to. She does. You know, I can't, I'm very bad with carpentry, but my parents were both artists. They did for a living. I'm not talking about like, yeah, you know, it's a hobby. No, that's what they did for a living. That's how my father built this house and fed the family. My father was a famous artist. What am I getting at? The one thing I could do is I'm a good cook. And I don't know why. I'm not one of those guys that I like to cook because I don't like to cook. I like to eat. But for some reason, I have a knack for it. I can sit and smell, like my girlfriend will tell you. I don't I've got a spot. Listen, I'm a bleached Italian, okay? I don't eat garlic. I don't like onions. I like peppers, but I can't eat them too much. They fucking give me agita, okay? So I'm a bleached Italian, but I'll cook that kind of food for my girlfriend and everything. She loves spicy. She eats ghost peppers and all that shit. She's very into like really hot, spicy food. Lucia, where are you?
Right here.
Where's your? Give me a jug of Tapatio. She drank like this is her hot sauce right here. This is the hot sauce she has right here. Look, this is a jug. And she'll go through this in like a week or so. She'll sit here and drink it. Look, it's got her father on the cover. Anyway, that looks more like her mother. It's got a mustache. So what I'm saying is I'll make her Mexican food like I can make it. You know what I mean? Even though I don't eat it, I didn't taste it. I don't want to taste it. I don't like it. But I can smell it. And here. This is her hot pepper. Look, she's done with this. This is her pepper flakes. This isn't something we fill up a bottle with. This is what she puts on eggs, everything. She's a fucking freak with like spicy foods. I won't touch that shit. Not right, Lucia? So I don't eat with onions. I don't eat garlic. I just, my father didn't eat that. So I grew up like that kind of guinea. You know what I'm saying? But they like it. So I can make all that shit. And I can smell. If I smell something, I can almost duplicate it. Like where people like, dude, even her mother's like, how does he know how to cook that? Give me his recipe. Right? Am I right or wrong? Hello? Get off the phone.
Yeah, this guy, Brian Pablo, says, hey, Greg, what do you prefer nowadays, pre-workout or nootropics? Also, would you ever start promoting Game Face here in Australia, as I'd like to try it?
Yes. Okay. Brian Pablo asked if I prefer nootropics or what? I can't read it.
Supplements?
I like
pre-workout, or nootropics.
All right, listen. I like pre-workout, first of all. Okay, I like nootropics too. I mix them like a Game Face, right? The problem is the Game Face website, my friend, it just went down. So his brother just died. All right, this guy that owns Game Face. His brother just died. So he might, he's still doing a Game Face, but he might just put it up on eBay till it sells out and that's it. Because he's sold a lot of it. But I don't know. I'm pushing him to stay in the business, but we'll get to that. So if you're looking for Game Face, you might have to go on eBay and get it because the website just went down, and I don't know if he's going to renew it. So we'll get to that. But right here, see, this is not A&W soda. This is not root beer. You see that's not A&W root beer. It's dark. This is pre-workout. Not pre-workout. Bang. Right? This is Bang. This one is I think it's I usually get root beer blaze, or I like the champagne one too. It tastes kind of root beers to me, or cotton candy. I think this is cotton candy. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I think this is cotton candy. Yeah, it's cotton candy. That's cotton candy. So I'll get Bang. Now you see what I just did? I took a sip. The reason why I put it in this bottle is because if I pop open, it comes in a can. So I put it in a bottle with a cap. So I don't have to, otherwise I knock the can over or it goes flat because I don't drink the can. I can't sit and drink a whole pre-workout. Look at me. I'm nuts. Okay. So if I drank a whole pre-workout, I'd be like, bing, bing, bing off the walls. If I go to the gym, I'll take this, right? And I'll take 2 or 3 sips. That's it. Then I'll take a nootropic with it because the combination of the two is a beautiful thing. You understand? It's almost like eating spaghetti with meatballs. You know what I mean? So the nootropic with me fires up the brain, but that gives me the energy to, and so the mixture of the two, but I only use it as needed sips. I don't drink. I don't know how anybody can drink a Red Bull. Red Bull tastes like shit to me. I don't like fruity stuff. So I don't like fruit punch. That's her. She likes all that shit. I only take it 2 to 3 sips and that's it. And I let it fester in me and I pop in some Game Face. And that's how I do it. Okay. I cannot drink a whole fucking pre-workout. I do have some fucking pre-workout here that's powder. Dave gave it to me. Somebody gave it to him and the fucking shit's expired. When I drank it, I was like, ugh, it fucking tastes like rotten ass. But
Sickening Freak says Red Bull isn't fruity.
To me, Red Bull's fruity. Okay, I'm very picky. You have no idea. She'll tell you.
I feel like it's like pineapple.
Like even with foods, bro. Okay, I'm very picky with the foods. I only eat certain foods and that's it. I don't fucking stray from that shit. That's just me. That's the way I am. I can cook any food there is, and I can make it like a gourmet restaurant. But I won't eat it. Okay, I'll make it for her or for the family when they want it, but I don't eat it. I'm very picky, very, very picky. Her, She'll eat fucking, if you made a groundhog into soup or something like that, said this is groundhog soup, she would fucking be like, okay, I'll try it. And I'm like, oh my God. She doesn't give a shit. She's Mexican. They eat the fucking chapalinos. And if any of you are Spanish, that's the fucking, those grasshoppers and shit. You know what I mean? They fry that shit up, grasshoppers. I ain't eating that shit. I ain't eating no bugs. Go over our mother's house, the cockroaches everywhere. You could eat them.
Seeking and Freak asks, do you still think Leo Rex was not murdered?
Do I still think Leo Rex is not murdered? I see a bunch of guys asking me questions here.
A lot of weird questions. A little weird.
Okay, well, do I think Leo Rex was not murdered? Yes, I don't believe he was murdered. I think he just had a fucking bad episode and was looking for fucking demons. Just, you gotta understand, he was doing a lot of like hallucinogenic shit. And they see like, oh yeah, man, I talked to my great uncle Tanus. He died fucking 30 years ago. And he appeared to me, like that kind of shit. Oh man, I've seen demons and Martians and all that. So, I think that he's fucking, that's why he took the toilet bowl off the fucking wall. Why was the toilet bowl taken off? It's too many shit. How was he slumped behind the door? How did he get behind the door? There's too much other bull. Don't give me that shit. Somebody came out a window that was this big. I don't believe he was murdered. But look, who am I?
Milo says, bro, Red Bull is gross. Better off getting C4 or Ghost Energy.
I like Bang. Bang is one of my favorite. Reign, REIGEN, Reign. I got them over there. I do have C4. I have everything here, bro. You have no idea.
Hey,
but
Greg, glad I caught you online. Big respect to you and your girl from Australia, my iron brother. Warrior 3214.
Warrior 3214. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Milo also asked, Greg, the bodybuilders you knew back in the day train while on drugs? I think that person asked the same thing before.
Well, Milo wants to know, did bodybuilders, what? What does he want to know? Did bodybuilders, the old school bodybuilders, they train on drugs?
Train while on drugs, like on illegal substances?
Not like today. Not like today. I mean, yeah, there were some guys that partied. I mean, Arnold would have a beer, but don't believe all that shit. He sat around smoking pot. I'm telling you, he didn't. Leon Brown used to always tell me Arnold was the first guy at the party and the first guy to leave. He would have one beer and that was it. Arnold tries to make himself all with that marijuana. Look, I smoke pot. Trying to show a different side. But that's all bullshit. You know what I mean? First of all, my daughter would laugh because he smoked the little thing. The skin. When I was young, that was one of the things. Those little skinny, they called them joints, right? Little skinny things. Today, my daughter's over there puffing on fucking like White Owls. These big fucking blunt things.
Somebody wrote 1:40 a.m. there in New Jersey.
Is that what time it is?
No, we're in New York.
No, we're in New York.
He says hello, Greg, from the Philippines. His name is Rebirth.
Rebirth. What's going on, my brother? No, it's 1:41 here in New York. Yeah, we're in New York. Me and my girlfriend. We're in New York. I'm from Bronx, but I don't live in the Bronx now. I haven't lived in the Bronx in a long time. I live in the suburb of the Bronx. Bronx is 20 minutes down the street. I live in Westchester.
Vanessa A., what do you think about the Conor Murphy thing with the golf club? I heard Tony recommend him to up his mushroom dose, which made him go crazy.
Vanessa A., I'm not really sure about that whole thing. I think I know what you're talking about. Did he beat a girl or something like that with a golf club? Was it a girl? Look, I don't believe it. I've done some bad, stupid things in my day, but now I look at all that shit. I'm not really into violence, and I've never done anything with girls. I don't beat girls or any of that shit. And I think he did it. I think he beat a girl with that shit. If I'm correct, that's a punk move. You know what I mean? And if it's because you're on drugs or whatever, that's not an excuse. You know what I mean? I know a lot of guys who are on drugs that don't do that to their girl.
She wrote, yes, he beat up his girlfriend. And
yeah, no, I don't do that.
It was on the actual news on real television.
Yeah, no, that's a punk move. That's it. Some guy, Conor Murphy. I don't really know who he is and stuff. I don't really know too much about that guy. All I know is I saw something about it because I think they talked about it on After Hours. It's Tony Huge's friend.
Oh my God, that guy, yes.
Yeah, Lucia knows. Tony Huge is a good friend of mine, and him and Lucia talk a lot, And I don't know too much about Conor Murphy. I don't respect guys that touch girls. I've been with her 18 years. As much as I like to kick her ass, I would never touch her. And I wouldn't like to kick her. She knows we play. But I would never touch my girlfriend. I would kill if I hurt a hair on her head, I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. It would kill me, if I hurt her. She doesn't deserve that, no matter how much if we argue or something. We don't really argue, me and her. We'll bicker, like anybody else bickers, but we don't have those kind of arguments. There's no jealousy. Lying, jealousy, and violence those are relationship killers. If there's just one of those things, your relationship is doomed. You know, if she says to me, "Oh, that guy's cute," I'm like, "Oh, that's." I had Frank McGrath. She loves Frank McGrath. You know, I had him fucking give her a birthday message. Hello, Alicia. Remember all that shit? Yeah, she loved Frank McGrath. That's her fantasy, man.
Harry not asked Greg, did you work out yet tonight?
Yes, I did, Harry. I did no weight stuff. I do a lot. I only work out weights twice a week. I do no weight stuff here. It's really deep and long for me to get into it. I'll have to do a video about it. But I do no weight stuff. I don't listen. She'll tell you I'm fucking way more jacked than you guys think I am. When you saw me even walking around Alabama there, I don't know why my legs look skinny in those fucking pants, but for my legs were jacked. And Dave Palumbo talked about my legs. And I'm fucking built, bro. I still got it going on. And back then I wasn't even on anything. I'm just right now. I just started my TRT again, and that TRT for me I don't really notice it too much on my body. I notice less joint pain and everything. I notice, it helps the sex drive, obviously, and I need that to keep up with her. She's smiling right there because she knows. But I need that to keep up with her, and it helps the brain. I feel better when I'm on, but I'm only on 200 milligrams once every 10 days, and with a doctor. I get it from CVS. So.
That guy Rebirth says, "Oh, I thought you were based in Jersey. My friend and I saw you at Strong and Shapely a while back."
Okay, yeah, Rebirth. Yeah, that's okay. Strong. I used to be at Strong and Shapely because Bob Bonham was like my brother, and that's in Jersey. And New York and New Jersey are like interchangeable. We're like brothers. You know what I'm saying? For instance, like both New York football teams don't play in New York. They play in Jersey, but they're good. Like the New York Giants, the New York Jets. Neither one. They play in New Jersey. They don't play in New York. You know what I mean? Which is funny because they should be the Jersey Giants or the Jersey Jets, but they don't. They play in New York. And I think at one point, I'm not sure about basketball, but I think at one point the Knicks were even playing in the Meadowlands or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Did kids used to be scared of you when you were looking like a monster on steroids back in the day?
Did kids used to be scared of me when I was looking? Who asked that?
Funny mashups?
Oh, funny mashup. Did kids used to be scared of me?
Yeah, when you were like a monster.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. I mean, some people were, they feared that. I never carried myself like an asshole, but I did some crazy bad things, but I was a different person back in the 90s, and I hung out with bad people. Let's just put it that way. But you learn, not to be an asshole, but.
Chaldean asked, how many reps do you do for legs?
Who asked that? Chilean?
Chaldean
wants to know how many reps I do for legs. All right. I've tried to explain this to you guys a million times. I'm going to have to show you in a gym with Joe, okay? I do...
Army.
Or Lucia's like, or me. Yeah, okay. What are you going to do?
Hold the camera.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I'll hold the camera. I'm not saying for you to do what I do, okay? I have jack legs. I do one set right now. But I built my legs doing more than one set, okay? But right now, I'm lucky. I can maintain them and still be jacked with one set. One of the things I do is I do a leg press. I do with 3 plates on each side. That's just one set. All right. I just do one set, right? But I do like 80 to 85 reps with it. But by the time I'm at 50 reps, I'm ready to die. So the next 30 reps, I don't stop and breathe. I just keep going. And that's what makes it even tougher. Because when I'm done, she'll tell you, usually there's not too many people in the gym, but I started like, motherfucker, because it hurts, man. It fucking hurts. Then I do leg curls. And the leg curls are the things that you guys would really die for, because I have this thing. I allot myself 15 minutes on a leg curl. I cannot have a partner because I don't rest. I try to do 3 sets in less than a minute time. So in 15 minutes time, I get 45 sets done. And I do high rep. I do like 10 to 12 reps. I start off with like 12 to 15. But after a couple of sets, I can only do 10. And I do them and I squeeze them. Leg curls, I squeeze them. Okay, all the way down. 3, 2, 1. Boom, go again. 3, to maybe at the most 5 seconds. But I keep going. So I'll do 3 sets in a minute's time. So 15 minutes. If I do that for 15 minutes, it's 45. That's why my hamstrings are jumping. The side of my legs, like if you look at me side view, my legs are like this. And Dave always says, wow, you know, you got hamstrings like me, you know, because I guess he has big hamstrings, you know, or did, whatever. But that's why. And I have striated glutes and everything, and it's not, I don't squat. I believe it comes from the leg curls, but that doesn't mean that you're going to grow like that. It's just, I like lots of work. That's what I like, lots of work in a smaller period of time. There you go.
Brian Pablo says, like, keep those 3 demons out of my relationship. Oh, he's talking about before. Like,
oh, you're talking about the
fighting.
Brian Pablo, yes. If listen, my girlfriend can sit here and say, oh my God, that guy's so hot. I don't give a fuck. I don't get jealous. So what? So she thinks he's hot. That doesn't mean she's not dead. I could do the same thing to her. I can say, oh my God, look at the ass on that girl. She's got a nice ass. And she'll be like, oh yeah, she does. You know, and she's not into girls. What I'm saying is, we have it like that. Do you understand? Like, it's not like there's no jealousy. When there's no jealousy, did you ever watch the movie Meet Joe Black? You ever watch that movie where Brad Pitt is the angel of death and he wants to take what's his name's daughter and bring her to heaven with him? Basically she doesn't know that he's the angel of death. But she's in love with him and she wants to go wherever he goes. He's got to go back to being dead, being the angel of death. So he says to her sister's husband, who's a maniac, he's a nut job, and her sister's a nut job, the girl that he's in love with. He says, you two are like, you're both nuts, but you have a great relationship. Like, how do you make it work? And he said, because we have no secrets, or we're an open closet. Do you understand what I'm saying? She knows my deepest, darkest secret, and I know her deepest, darkest secret. And it's okay. And we don't get jealous. It's no, like, she could sit here and go, oh my God, that guy's good. Again, she loves Frank McGrath. You know what I mean? I tell Frank McGrath, I know Frank. And I tell him, oh, man, my girlfriend loves you. I think she would fucking, she'd be all over you. She probably rubs one out to you. But that's okay. I don't care. You understand? Because I can do the same, with her. You know what I'm saying? I like, what's the girl? I like the little girl there, the singer. What the hell's her name again? Yeah, Ariana Grande. I like shit like that. And I could tell her, see, she knows better than I do. I could say, oh, look at that little can on Ariana Grande. I'd bury my face in it. She laughed. See, she was just laughing. We don't care. Because, see, but that's what makes the relationship work. We don't cheat. There's no reason to cheat. There's no, we're not into like swinging or any of that shit. But when you're like that and you can talk like that and there's no jealousy. I used to have this girl that worked for me. And I'd have a bodybuilding magazine. Her boyfriend was a bodybuilder. She was a female bodybuilder. She was hot as hell, too. Really good-looking girl, not masculine, built, unbelievable body. And he was unbelievable body, too. And he used to sit there, and if he was looking at my magazine, right? And it was like, bikini girl in a magazine or something, And he just happened to turn that page, and she saw it. She'd rip the magazine out of his hand, tear it and throw it and shit, and cause this big scene in the gym. She worked for me, and I used to have to tell, hey, stop that. What do you do? What are you, crazy? It's a magazine. She'd be like, yeah, but he was looking at that girl. And I'm like, well, what do you think? The girl's going to jump out of the page and seduce him? And if that's the case, if my girlfriend didn't want to be with me, what am I going to do? No, you're going to be with me. No, you're not going to be. If you go with that guy, I'm going to kill him. So now I kill him. I'm going to go, or I kick his ass and I go to jail. Guess what? That got me out of the way. Now her and him are free to be together. I don't care. If you don't want to be with me, I'm not going to hold her fucking. Then you got to go. Go. What am I going to do? Force somebody to love you that doesn't love you? Me and her love each other. We've been together for a long time. You know what I mean? We have there's no ghosts in our closets. She knows shit about me nobody else knows. And I know shit about her that nobody else knows. That's the way it works.
Nate Caller says, you're the man. I use your method and I grew so much.
Who said that?
Nate
Caller? What did he say? Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're the man.
Nate Caller. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nate Caller. Listen, the best method I can tell you is to listen to your body. Stop listening to these pro bodybuilders that know their body. They don't know your body. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said that he tried Mike Mentzer's heavy duty routine. And he said, the worst thing that can happen to a bodybuilder happened to him. He said, I got smaller and I got smoother. It's not for everybody. Then there's other guys who use that routine and grow like monsters. Okay? Sometimes you can mix. I do high volume. But when I do the leg press, I basically do almost Mike Mentzer's routine. I train to absolute positive momentary failure. I do the first 50 reps I do. Then after that, I start speeding it up in the burn. I want to puke, shit, fart, throw up. I want to do all that shit at one time. You understand? It's like, but there's so many reps. It takes all these reps to get to the deep fibers. You got to get to the deep fibers. You're not going to get there with 6, 7 reps with heavy weight. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. We got to put fucking fire in there. Everybody thinks heavy dude is just taking heavy weights and doing 5 reps. No. Mike Mentzer's biggest fucking quote was, and I knew Mike Mentzer. I knew Ray even better. Mike Mentzer used to tell me I was overtraining. He used to come to my fucking gym that I owned. He used to say all the time, the set doesn't begin until you've done at least 9 reps, right? He would do 50 reps, but those last reps that you do, that's when the muscles like, I can't do anymore. Call deeper fibers. That's how you train heavy. Muscles like, I can't do anymore. Call deeper fibers. That's how you train heavy duty. That's Arthur Jones preached that on the Nautilus. And I got my start doing plastic weights at home. When you see the pictures of me when I was 15, I was at plastic weights. Then this guy, Bob Baff, opened up a gym, and he was in the town that I live in. And he was Arthur Jones' disciple. And he opened up a Nautilus training center. And he trained people on the Arthur Jones way. 1 set on the machine. You can only do 1 set. But that set could sometimes take 5 minutes. You try doing a machine for 5 fucking minutes. Strip the weights, do this half reps, pull partial speed up, then help you up, and go back down, fight the negative, then more weights come off. Now do more weights. Like this, you can't do anymore. Don't stop. Okay, hold it, pull it up. And it just to the point where you're like ready to, you know what I mean? I don't really like that kind of training. I like to, I'm a pumper. I love to pump. That's not going to give you a pump, but for me, for the legs, that seems to work really good. But for the arms, no way. I'm a pumper, man. You know what I mean? For the rest of my body, no. Lats, I have the biggest fucking lats, bro. Go watch me walking with Lee Priest and shit down the street in Alabama and all those different videos I put up. Watch my fucking back, okay? I have a really big back. I got broad shoulders for, short guy. What I'm saying is, but I fucking do a lot of, you won't believe, Lucia, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. There's guys who work out in the gym with me that watch my videos and stuff. They would tell you. If I tell you I probably do maybe 80 sets for my back. I do different ways of doing it, but I do probably like 80 sets, maybe 100, in some days. I do different, 2 different exercises, just 2. But that's me. I would never tell you to do that. Never, ever, ever. Do not do what I do. Okay? I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you, be a scientist, experiment on yourself, and find what's right for you. Not what fucking Phil Heath does. Ronnie Coleman could pick his nose or sneeze and he just fucking grew another inch. That's because he's a genetic freak. You know what I mean? I have a little bit of that too with certain things that I could just do whatever and I just grow. But not everybody has that. You have to find what's right for you. I don't care what Arnold says. I don't care what Mike Mentzer says. I don't care what Dorian Yates says. I don't care what any of those guys say. That's right for them. They figured that out already. You got to figure out what's right for the same thing with eating. I already told you that. Lee Haney says, I can't eat potatoes. I got to eat rice instead before a show.
Jack Krauser. Hey, Greg, I'm always happy when I see you in the sub box.
Thank you, Jack.
If you were Natty all over again, what would you take?
Jack Krauser said that?
I'm always happy to see you on the sub box. If you were Natty all over again, what would you take for your first cycle? Would you go low dose or high? Jack Krauser.
Okay, he's asking me. Jack Krauser's asking me. Jock or Jack?
Jack.
Okay, Jack. See, she says that she should be Italian because she says everybody's name wrong. My father used to be like that. He'd be like, "Hey, I saw your boy on TV, Arnold Schwackhammer." Oh, Mr. G's here. George, what are you doing? Greg, did you see? No, George, I can't watch that shit. I know all about it. I saw it on. I saw all the fucking disgusting drag queens on. I saw that with the little children with him. That's real. This world is fucked. But that's France, look how fucked up they are. We're headed there.
Mexico, that's how fucked up they are.
We're headed there, and let me tell you something. Don't think that Trump has this in a bag because I could never bet against, We won't get into that yet.
That's why we
But
celebrate Greg. That's why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, because they lost to Mexico.
yes. Now what was the question? Oh, about the first cycle.
He said, oh my God, he said that they mocked the Last Supper.
Yeah, I know they're bad.
Mr. G.
I know, George, but they're all going to go to fucking hell for that stuff.
Disgusting.
And it's France. They're fucked up. But we're headed right there, too. And trust me, I don't think that Kamala Harris has no chance to win. She has a good chance to win. With all the bullshit that fucking, I already said this before earlier, but with all the bullshit that Trump beat, what's his name in the debate, then he got shot, which got him more people than fucking, Joe Biden fucking called Kamala Harris Vice President Trump. Then he called fucking, what's his name there? Zelensky called him Putin. All that shit, all how chagad he is. He was still only 2 or 3 points behind Trump. And right now, in some cases, Kamala Harris is ahead of Trump. And I know you're going to say, I don't believe those polls. You believe them when Trump's ahead, but you don't believe them when... I'm just telling you, don't trust this. The hatred for Trump is too strong, and the Democrats are too smart and too devious. I couldn't bet right now. There's no way I can bet. But anyway, let me get back to the question. What you guys don't understand. If this bottle was empty right now, this is an empty bottle, okay? And I wanted to fill it, right? If this is, how many ounces is this? Like 12 ounces or whatever the fuck it is? Oh, this is 16 ounces. Okay, so this takes 16 ounces of fluid. Now, I take this and I pour 16 ounces of fluid in there, right? It took the full 16 ounces. Okay, if this was a steroid receptor and I drank half of it, now I'm ready to take my next fucking, I want to fill it back up now. It's halfway, all right? So it's not going to take another 16 ounces. It's only going to take half, 8 ounces. So when you first take steroids, if guys do it, there's no reason to peak up and then peak down. You're better off starting up high and then slowly taking it down because you need less drug. Your receptor doesn't just clean out totally. Do you understand? An open receptor is like anything you give it, it's going to, it's going to fill it up and then use it. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I believe that you start off big and then taper down. Don't taper up, taper down. If that makes sense. And then you can hold it at a certain level because it's just going to, unless you totally stop the steroid, you don't fully clean out. You're not going to need full 16 ounces again. Do you understand that?
FDL Torres asks, if I buy merch, does that money go to you?
If I buy merch, does the
YouTube merch?
YouTube merch?
Yeah.
Now it goes to YouTube, and then I think they give me a little piece of something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're the ones that handle all that shit. We just agree to it, and that's it.
Yeah, you get the money.
Yeah, we don't get full money on anything.
You get the money for the sales.
Yes, but a little piece of the money.
Nobody else gets the money.
Oh no, it doesn't go to anybody, but it goes to you. Mostly YouTube fucking gives you it. Basically, you pay YouTube, and YouTube gives me something on it. Yes, if that's what you're asking, But that's them that runs this shit. It's not like it comes from them. They print it. They send it out. You know what I mean, like that.
I'm not buying merch, he said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we get it. Yes, we get a couple bucks on everything that's sold, but that's YouTube. That it's not like I have like, okay, yes, he bought a shirt. Go get a shirt. We don't do that. They do that. They have all that, and then they send me, oh look, somebody bought a shirt. Here's a couple bucks. But so that's the way with the drugs. That's the way it works. It's better off to fucking fill it up at first and then stay at a level. Usually figure out how much it takes. And you can stay at a certain level. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the more drug then it becomes spillover. And that's where you start getting problems with bitch tits and estrogen and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's my theory anyway. And it seems to work. I don't believe, it's just like, I don't believe you have to pyramid up and then pyramid down. I believe you should do a couple sets, like, warm up, pump up, like if you're going to, like, let's say bench, you want to pump it up, put a couple good sets of really putting the blood in there, lightweight, and then you could do a heavier weight. But, if you start doing like a lot of heavy weights and build up to your heaviest weight, I don't believe in going to the one reppers anyway with all that shit. But I do know this, that, each time you do it, you need less with the steroids.
Is Greg getting spammed tonight? Blessed heart.
Who spam? Oh, who asked that? I just caught it. He means the spam. We already fucked before, so. You mean she's the one who's going to get spam, not me. She's the one who gets it up her can.
People were saying on YouTube, Trump will be wearing an orange jumpsuit after his.
No, I don't think that. Let me tell you something though. If who said that about Trump?
Michael Russo.
Michael Russo. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know if Kamala Harris gets in, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. And don't think that it's that Trump's got it in the bag, because he didn't have it in the bag at all, even with Biden in there. It was still going to be an uphill battle. The hatred for Trump is out there. There's a lot of people. For every person you say, I see everybody I see. I heard that too the last election when Biden beat him. My friends used to say, dude, I go down Florida. There's a fucking line down the highway, 20 miles. Nothing but cars with Trump. I don't even see one Biden. Somehow or other, you know what I mean? I know not all those votes were legit. I get it. But still, there's a lot of people who voted for Biden, because the hatred for Trump is greater than the love of country. That's a fact. There's people who say, well, I don't care. I'd vote for a dead body. What?
Brocade says it would be wild if Kamala picked Mike Pence as VP.
It would be stupid if Mike Pence agreed to it, Brocade. I know what I'm saying.
I mean, he's already a rat.
Yeah, he's a rat. We don't like rats,
That's why the fly landed on him.
But if Trump was smart, I mean, I like J.D. Vance. He's a nice guy. But he's a momo too. I mean, he can't sit there and fucking start putting down women and say stupid shit like he said. You're gonna fucking get there. Women are gonna vote for women. They love Kamala Harris. If I was Trump, I would have picked Tulsi Gabbard, man, because Tulsi Gabbard annihilated Kamala Harris in the Democratic primaries, 4 years ago. And Tulsi Gabbard is a fucking pit bull. She still serves in the military. She's a pit bull. She's a badass. And I'm telling you,
I almost want to remove this comment. I don't know.
What comment?
Greg, I heard you say you used to do burglaries. How many did you do? Do you regret it?
Who said that?
LSDK.
Yes, LSDK. I did a few little things. I do regret it, because I did. I'm lucky I got away with it, because the people I was doing it with were not too smart like me. We were stupid. And there's one instance where I did something, and we were walking right down the fucking street carrying this shit. And a cop could have just fucking drove up the street.
Is this person serious? Michael Russo, it's me, Joe W. I'm back. I bought the 1980 for Arnold, LOL.
What's that? Michael Russo said, it's me, Joe. I guess it means Joe Weider.
I'm back. What?
I don't know, Mike. If that's a joke, we got to get you a joke book. Greg Abdul Torres.
Can you tell the story where the chick was farting while doing leg presses?
Oh God, I've had a fucking couple girls that farted. I remember way back when I was young, there was a girl that used to do squats, and she was so fucking cute. I was maybe 22, 23. That was in that Bob Bass, the gym that I used to train at when I was young. And she would go down, and with every rep, she would fucking, you'd hear, and she was fucking like 18. She was a cute girl. I was just thinking about her too. Her name was Sue. I don't want to say her last name, God forbid, fucking, but she would fucking go down, and you hear, and I've had that a million times. That's the time you're talking about, the time I almost hurt my leg because I was doing leg press, and the girl was farting. And then there was one time where this girl fucking threw the loudest fart doing legs and doing a squat, because right now they moved the squat racks now, but the squat rack used to be right next to the leg press in my gym, and it was so loud. The fucking girl, Lucia, what's her name? They used to run the gym there. They used to work for Mike. My best friend owns the gym. What was her name again? Lori. She came running out, and she looked at me. She thought it was me, and I'm like, man, it's so listen, Abdil, let me tell you some girls are really bad. Do you remember Sandy Rydell? You remember any of you old school guys? She was actually dating Mike Matarazzo. Sandy Rydell, where I've been in a gym, and she used to throw farts all the time. She'd lift her leg up and go like this, like a guy. That was Mike Matarazzo's girl for a while. Sandy Rydell. If you don't know who she is, if you're young, you've only been in bodybuilding a short time, go Google her. Sandy Rydell, ex-female bodybuilder. She used to throw ass all the time in the gym. I'd be in there. She'd actually lift her leg and shake it. And it would come right out like that. I was like, anyway. So there's a lot of that. So what else, Lucia? Give me some here now.
Somebody will fashion parade after mock of Last Supper. Just watch it on replay.
Oh, you talking? Is he? Oh, who wrote that? 315. 3:15, whatever. Yeah. I know it's the you know what? Today it's see, what can we do? What can we do to be outrageous and make a big splash on social media? I get it. We'll mock Jesus. We'll get children up here with drag queens. Listen, I said it at the beginning. I live in New York. Okay, we go to the clubs in New York City. Half the girls in here were trannies. You know what I'm saying? That's different. A tranny and a drag queen are two different things. A drag queen's a man dressed like a fucking dude. Okay. Let me tell you something. Most of those drag queens wouldn't go near that shit. You know, those are freaks. There's something wrong with those people that are doing this. They're looking for like being outrageous. You know, these people, I'm talking about the people that did this in France. They're trying to be outrageous. They don't represent that world at all. They don't. You know what I'm saying? You ever watch Jim Norton, the comedian? His wife's a tranny, and she even said, those trannies do not represent me. They're nothing like me. You know, she's a big Trump fan, you know, and she met Trump, and she said he was the nicest guy to her. He kissed her hand, and he said, you know, she was a beautiful woman. And all this. So what I'm saying to you is that you can't go by the people that you see on these shows. You know what I mean? They're trying to purposely trying to send a message, be outrageous. They're so far left. You understand? They're just like the crazies that's still walking around with the masks on and, you know, like, you know, got the hat pulled down, the sunglasses on, the mask pulled up here, and they're running around streets, you know, from the mountain to the sea or whatever the hell it is, river to the sea, you know, all that stuff. You know, those are all like entitled people, you know, and they're trying to be outrageous because they know that social media is going to be loaded with this stuff. It's going to be loaded. It's going to be everywhere. And, you know, now that we're talking about it, they get their way. Game one. But they don't represent that world. They don't represent the drag world, training world, any of that shit. They don't. They're the troublemakers. You understand what I'm saying? They're the troublemakers. Oh shit, is Lee? Hey Lee. Hey, I had eye surgery. What does Lee say? I can't read.
Like shit. I got hot rocks in my eye. Done nothing for 2 days apart from trying to help myself.
Oh, Lee, don't do that. Lee, I just talked to Jimmy. He was upset because he called you and he said you didn't answer the phone. Lee, listen to me. I had the same surgery you did. And I'm going to tell you something. The craziest thing is when you finally take the eye patch off, you have to put it on the other eye. Just a short period. So you can strengthen the muscle that's in the eye that just got surgery. You won't even be able to look forward. It's the weirdest thing. If somebody said, here, like, look at my hand. You can try, and your eye's almost like looking down. And it's almost like you have to force it. It's the craziest thing. Now, I had the eye patch for a while because I had more than that done to my eye. But I'm just telling you, you know, when you first take that eye patch off, you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to strengthen the muscle in that eye because the muscle gets weak. It's almost like you can't even look. You can't even bring your eyeball up to look forward. And the only way to do that is cover the good eye. That's my good eye. This is my bad eye. So you'd have to force it to look up. It's the craziest thing. You'll get it, it'll go away. I've been there, my brother. I've been there. It'll go away. You know, I know it's a bad pain, but being blind is worse than, you know, that pain. It'll go and you'll forget all, you know, like, you know, you'll forget all about it. You won't forget it, but you know what I'm talking about. You'll be okay with it. Just right now, you know, I mean, don't go crazy with those fucking painkillers. If they gave you like opiates and shit, don't go nuts with that shit. Tylenols work just as good for me, you know. But you know, you're definitely gonna have to work on strengthening the muscle of that eye. You know, Jimmy was trying to call you, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know, is Lee all right?" I told him I hadn't heard from you, you know. So you know that I had messaged you the other day. I was saying to you that I'm going to talk to you about your eye. But that's what I want to tell you is that you're going to have trouble lifting, just even looking. If you have to look forward, it's like your eyes, like looking down here, and you have to try to get it to look up. My eye was bad like that, but so I hope you're feeling better, my brother. If you have it, just call me. If you have any, you know, I can help you. You know, I've been there. I had the same thing, the corneal transplant, bro. I had to have it shaved down. I would have had a white, incredible Hulk eye if I didn't do that. You know, and plus my pupil was cut, my iris was cut. So now it's like it's permanently dilated. So I had the whole gambit going on.
Greg, Abdul Torres says, what do you think of Joy Merlino?
Who's Joy Merlino? I don't know, Abdul. I don't know who that is. Joy Merlino. I'm not sure who that is. You know, don't let that drag queen stuff bother you guys. Don't let it bother you. You know, they're not all like that. They, you know, I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what you do. I don't know if you care if you're a dude that likes to dress up and prance. That's fine. I don't give a shit. Those people are trying to be outrageous, and they're trying to get you to go, oh, did you see what they did? How they mocked God? You know, they're doing it for views. You know, they're doing it. It's just like when Michael Jackson's sister popped her tit out at the fucking, you know, at the what do you call it? Oh, what was that, Super Bowl? Remember, Tick came out. Ooh, you're like, she didn't like plan that, right? You know, it's outrageous because people talk about it. That's what they're trying to do. So, you know, just the fact that we're here talking about this on a bodybuilding thing, they win. They're not. They don't represent trannies or drag queens. They're the left of that. You know what I mean? They're the left. So it's just like BLM doesn't represent every black person. I know how many black people I know. They're like, oh my God, they're an embarrassment to me.
Lil Wayne.
You know? Yeah, Lil Wayne's one of them, right?
Matthew Walker, what's good, everyone?
Hey, Matt Walker, what's going on?
Humane Monk, Greg, I would like to hear. I would like to hear about the nastiest workouts you've ever done since you trained with all the greats. The nastiest.
Nastiest workouts I've ever done. Matthew, who is that? Matthew Walker?
Human Monk.
Human Monk. I don't know what you mean by the nastiest workout. I trained in the gym with Arnold, but I didn't train with him. I like, there's Arnold right there. He's doing like cable rows, or you know, he's doing like tricep pushing, and I'm over here doing delts or something. You know, so I never trained with him. We never did it. I did train with Reggie Jackson, a baseball player. We trained delts together. I'm trying to think of other pro bodybuilders. I trained a little bit with Lee Labrada, Ron Love. There's pictures of me with Ron Love spotting me and Lee Labrada spotting me. Not much though. I think I did cable crossovers once, you know, where I worked in with Samir Banu. I didn't train with those guys. You know, the only person I really trained did like, you know, did set for set and stuff like that. It was with Reggie Jackson, a baseball player, and it was like in 1981 in Gold's Gym. And he was horrible. He you know, first of all, he hung out with juice heads. You know, a big juice dealer. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did the Babanya. Second of all, he would be hit on every girl that walked by. Hey, do cat calls like that. And I'd be like, oh my God, don't do that with me around, you know, because they look at me. You know, they think it's me doing that stuff.
Sandra Garcia.
But then nothing major. You know, I always did my workout, you know. I was in the gym. There's Lou Ferrigno right here doing the V-bar press. We were on the same machine. He was opposite. Mike Christian. I remember one time I was doing such heavy V-bar press downs that it was almost, you know, like I was doing too heavy, and it was almost like lifting me off the fucking ground. And he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" That was Mike Christian.
Hey, Greg, quad on that live again. Finally, I'm in the UK, so it's 7 a.m. here. Hope you're all good.
Who said that?
Sandro Garcia.
Hey, Sandro, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Yeah, you're in the UK, so it's early. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go soon because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Believe it or not, her and I got to do some shit. So you know, I'm gonna have to run in a couple minutes. It's 2 o'clock. What is it? 2:17, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 2:17 in the morning. I'm in New York, you know, so we're over here in New York. Me and her gotta run around, do some bullshit. Yeah, 2 in the morning. Yeah, but that's the way. I'm not gonna go to bed at like 6. I gotta go to the gym too today. Today I'm gonna do back and biceps today. That's my Saturday workout. So, you know, what's Lee saying? I'll talk later. I'm going to get better again. Okay, Lee, I hope you feel better, my brother. Just, you know, you'll get through this. Don't get depressed or fucking anything like that. You know, it's normal. It's going to be painful. I know I felt that pain too. It's like somebody stuck a hot poker in your eye. You know what I mean? But I hope you feel better. You know, if you want, call me. So we'll talk. But I mean, I've been there. Same operation. Just remember, when you take that eye patch off, you're going to be like, holy fuck, my eyeball's weak. And the way to strengthen it is to cover the other eye. You know, I don't mean walk around with a eye patch on the other eye, but you do little exercises and it'll come right back, you know. But I hope you feel better, Lee. Go to bed. I'll tell Jimmy I talked to you. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to have to run in a minute. What's any Mike? Any Milo Sarchev stories? No, I don't have any Milo Sarchev stories. I know Milo. He's a good guy. I like Milo Sarchev. Greg, did Ronnie Coleman? Lou, what are you doing here?
Eat all of Dobson's fish?
Yes, he did, Abdul. Yes, he ate all Brian Dobson's fish. Brian Dobson's got the best Ronnie Coleman stories because they were buddies, you know, and he would always be together. And like I said, I know Ronnie very well. Ronnie can eat like a fucking house, bro. You have no idea. If you wanted, my friend went on a trip with him across the country. You know, they were doing stuff together, and he said he had to stop every 2 hours for Ronnie to eat. And when Ronnie would eat, he'd eat like 6 or 8 hamburgers and all kinds of shit. With he would like pound down hamburgers. But anyway,
Good night.
What's happening?
Good night.
Yeah. LSDK. No, they're not garden gnomes. I don't know why guys keep saying they're gnomes. They're not gnomes. They're statues, and they're like angels, demons, lions. That's what we have. There's no gnomes like the little men and shit. Like there might be 1 or 2 little gnomes, but floating around, but they're mostly all good shit. Greg, do you have any? Do you have any? What does that say?
Greg, do you have any different leg workout?
No, Melback with pasta. What does that mean?
Where?
Do you like Melback with pasta?
Anyway, Greg, do you have
I don't know what that is.
Greg, do you have a different leg workout? I've done it. I love it, but I want to switch it up.
Do I have a different leg workout?
Winmore text says later, Greg and Lucia, have a good relaxing evening.
Thank you, Winmore.
Till next time.
No, I do. I mean, I put it on my leg workout on a video here. I've updated it because I train differently. That video's like fucking, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. I don't remember when I did that video. I mean, for me, I like high reps. You know what I mean? I like to get that burn. If you fail at 50, you should be doing like 80. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. That's what I do. What?
How about a shout out, Dorian Katkuda from Croatia. Big fan. Oh, your nieces are out there.
What? Where do you see that?
Dorian Katkuda from Croatia.
Dorian Kakuda from Croatia. How you doing, my brother? My nieces are in Croatia right now. My sister's daughters. They're on vacation somewhere in Croatia. They're right this minute. Seriously. Yeah. So my daughter just my girlfriend just told me, reminded me that. John Hackman, no, I don't drink. I've never tasted wine in my life. I don't drink wine. I don't drink any alcohol. So no, I don't. No wine. Nothing. My father used to make wine with his father, my grandfather, who died before I was born. When my father was younger, he made wine with him, and my father never tasted the wine that he made. And my father didn't drink. I never drank because I grew up idolizing my father. So, all right, guys.
Shit, Guy Watts, Greg, I got your workout, but on Kindle.
Oh, okay, Guy. Thank you. Yeah, that's yeah, that's like I don't sell that. That's the people that make the book. My publishers that sell that on Kindle. But thank you. I appreciate that, Guy. Thank you, Guy Watts. Thank you very much. All right. Show the bionic eye. I don't have a bionic eye.
Human Monk says I'm from Croatia too.
There. Okay, Human Monks. He's from Croatia too? Okay, yeah, my nieces are there right now. Where in Croatia? I don't know, but they're in Croatia right now, today, tonight, whatever. They're there. So both of them. And my one niece is won an NPC bodybuilding championship. She was in the nationals. What? My sister's daughter. Daughters.
LSDK says show the bionic
I just
eye.
did.
Anyway.
All right, guys. I gotta go. I love you. I had to work late night. Thanks. Who's the last guy that just wrote that something?
Guapo del Norte.
Guapo del Norte or whatever.
This,
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All you guys. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. We'll be back again next week. We'll do some more late night shit, Just why not, right? Why not?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I love you. Keep your chin up. Never think bad thoughts about yourself either, You're a Momo, but we're all Momos. I'm a Momo too, okay? I'm a big Momo. Forget about it. She's the queen of the Momos, but I love her. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. I love you guys, and I'm out.